Day 118. Today is Sucky Price Pizza Crust Day. So excited. So excited. Oh, it's gonna be so much fun. Yeah. So that's happening. So yeah. So we'll see how that works out. I totally forgot to add canola oil to my list / vegetable oil, because canola oil is a Canadian thing, to my list, but that's fine. I should have enough. I just won't have any after, probably, but that's fine. It's all good. So yeah, I'm excited. I'm just gonna do the crust today. I might experiment because I don't have a lot of fun ingredients. So I think I'm gonna stuff it to see. I'm actually gonna bake it, and I do have jam, so I'm gonna kind of get a basic idea. But it won't be the full thing because again I want more fun ingredients. But yeah, I have marshmallows, which kind of started this whole thing. So I'm gonna make something. I might freeze it, and then I don't know how many fun ingredients my dad has, but I might bring part of the dough and do some next week there, with some fun ingredients. I don't know what I consider fun ingredients. This is part of the problem with not being able to, I guess I can, not feeling comfortable enough to grocery shop in person and see all the ingredients and be like, oh, that's fun, that would be fun. So I don't know, maybe I can just get my family involved and be like, hey, pick up fun ingredients. And my brother has a sweet tooth, so he might pick something up, so we'll see. Maybe that's something I can do. It'll be a nice little treat after a rough morning, probably. My family, it'll probably be a bloody morning, Hank. Damn it. So yeah, I think that's a good idea, and use that time to bake. So I think I might do that. We'll see. Or if I don't, because I don't know if my dad has yeast, although he can buy yeast too. But why? I've got tons of yeast, so I might even just make the dough there. But then I don't know. But anyway, I'm making the dough today, and I don't have a lot of fun ingredients, so I'm just gonna make the dough and make a basic idea, just to get an idea of what how the stuffed crust will work and things like that. And so I'm excited, super excited, as you can tell, because I'm rambling. So yeah, it should be interesting. And yeah, I'm excited. I'm gonna the video is gonna be pretty real. I'm only gonna cut out boring stuff that I go to the fridge and grab something, or go to my cupboard and grab something, that type of thing. But yeah, I'm excited. Stay tuned. My contacts are finally in. Yes, perfect. And as you can see, I ran out of the second time I got the trial pairs. So although the trial pairs did work, because I did try a new brand, I discovered my prescription is not the same with that brand, because I did not like them and I could not see as well. So there we go. The trial actually worked with those particular ones. So yeah, anyway, I'm so excited. My contacts are in. Yes! They are open tomorrow, but I did not know that. But irrelevant, because my contacts are in. Yes. Yes! Woo! So yeah, okay. That's all. That's about it. Forgetting, as soon as I saw the optometrist number appear on my phone, I'm like, yes! There's only one reason they could be calling right now, and that's to say my contacts are in. And they were. Oh yes. Anyway, so yeah. Woo! I don't have to wear a mask and glasses. Actually, that's what I do to pick up my contacts. I have to wear a mask and glasses for a very short period of time. So, yes. I'm excited. I'm so happy. So happy. Woo! Anyway, okay, bye. Okay, so this is the Suki Price bread dough recipe. So after looking, pizza dough, not bread dough, pizza dough. So after looking at a couple recipes online and kind of seeing kind of what they have in common and things like that, and then adjusting it based on my needs, I think I have a recipe for the dough. We'll see if it works, because again, I did adjust it, and baking is something that adjusting it is hard to do because it is very much more scientific than just cooking is, and especially when working with yeast. So this could work, or this could be a complete disaster. We'll find out. So what I did was I set my oven to the lowest possible temperature to give kind of a warm spot for it to rise, because it's not super warm today. So I kind of want to give it a little bit more of a chance. And I have my yeast and my water, warm water, set aside to start to activate, and a little bit of sugar to feed the yeast. So it looks like it's foaming lovely. And I have my vanilla in my mixing bowl, because I'm going to add vanilla to this pizza dough, which is something that is not obviously normally in pizza dough. So that's one of those areas that it is a complete and utter test to see if it works. I'm adding more sugar as well, so that is also the other combination. So we'll see if this works. So let's get it started. I love working with flour, but it makes such a mess. Cleanup after baking is not fun. Okay, I think, is that what ooh. I'm not going to give amounts because I don't know if this is going to work yet. So if it doesn't work, then the amounts are pointless. And you will have the proper amounts once I get a recipe that works. So, there we go. So far I've got vanilla, flour, sugar, and canola oil or vegetable oil in the mix. So look at that. My yeast is nice and foamy. Super foamy. That's gonna be good. So I'm gonna add that in and mix it up. I mean, ingredients wise, it's a pretty basic recipe, pretty simple recipe ingredients wise. It's that combination and, you know, that yeast, but this is a good sign that it smells yeasty and it's very bubbly, so that's a good sign. So we'll see what the extra sugar does to it. Slowly, so I don't get flour all over everywhere. It was nice because I do have a dough hook, so perfect opportunity to use it. May need more flour. So it is, you kind of want to, you're going for a texture. You're going for a texture, not necessarily in this case with the flour, so I might have had too high of a water to flour ratio, so I might have to add more flour. We'll see once it's better mixed, but it's looking like it's gonna need more flour. So just add it slowly, not too much at a time. Yep, that looks like the consistency that I want. Nope, not quite. So yeah, that I think is the consistency of the dough that I want to go for. It's a little bit sticky, but that's okay because when I roll it out, I'll be using more flour. So I don't want it to just want a little bit of stickiness, but it's all combined together. So I think I'm going to leave that now to rise. So there we go. See you in a bit. Okay, so I've got it here, and I'm going to knead it for a bit and get it set up. I'm only going to use half of it. I'm going to freeze the other half and save it for later, for when I actually try out different toppings. It didn't rise as much as I had hoped, so I think that was just because the temperature, it wasn't as warm as it should have been. So I think next time I'm going to set the oven to 350, which is what I'm having on to bake, and let it rise there, just right on top of the oven. I think that would help. Obviously the yeast was activated properly, because it was bubbling and all pretty, so that wasn't the cause. Maybe it was too much sugar, I don't know, but it definitely, like, I feel air bubbles. So I just feel like maybe it wasn't warm enough. It was what I think was. So but this is what I promised. This is an insight. This is completely, you know, this is what happens. This is the test kitchen. Trying things out, seeing what works, and before we get to that final recipe. So yeah, so here we go. I'm gonna kind of break this up. I definitely, as you can see, there's quite a bit more flour because it was sticky, but that's okay. Just gonna knead this up a bit. And then I'm going to roll it out and create a stuffed crust. I've never, well, I haven't made pizza before. I've never made a stuffed crust pizza. So another experiment, sweet dough, stuffed crust, full of experiments. And this is, to me, this is a lot to do with why I got into cooking, is I love doing this. I love experimenting. Ironically, chemistry was not my strong suit in high school. I chose biology instead of chemistry, because math, not so much, but there's definitely a lot of science behind cooking, and especially behind baking, but I've always found this to be a more fun way of doing it than using chemicals. This is, we all need to eat, and this is a way of exploring that in a fun way, I find, anyway. So, and I do remember, it was funny, I remember distinctly in grade 8, my grade 8 science teacher was the home ec teacher as well, and there was a question in our grade 8 science book that talked about, ironically of all things, pizza, the science used in baking a pizza. And we decided, we were like, in order to learn this properly, we should experiment and actually physically do it so that we can remember. Sure enough, at the end of she's like, okay, yeah, if we'll get through this, if you all do well, then we'll at the end of the year. Sure enough, end of the year, pizza party. Got to make our own pizzas, so yeah. And definitely she was, and I think I've mentioned her, I don't know how much I've talked about my maize recipe, but my high school foods teacher is also South African, from South Africa. So actually I gave, and my dad still works with her son, so I gave the recipe to her to look at, to see what, if I kind of, because I don't have experience cooking South African food, to see if I kind of got that influence well. So that, and one of my coworkers is also South African, so he looked at it, but yeah, so I'm looking forward to seeing. I still haven't heard back from her yet, what she thought of that, but yeah, so that's the connection there. Obviously a huge influence. She was also the reason, had a lot to do with where I got my first job, because we were in a small town and not many jobs for teenagers in a small town, and I got my first job as a dishwasher in a pub. So, you know, I really super thankful, you know, that kind of was my first job in back of house, and I got to see if I enjoyed the atmosphere of a back of a house environment, and obviously I did. So there we go. So yeah, so I'm gonna do this manually. I'm not gonna roll it out at all. That might be a mistake. But we'll see. Oop. So yeah, it'll be a small pizza, but that's okay because this is a test. That's why I used half the dough. Okay. Squish out the edges. Okay, let's find out how to do this. Let's figure this stuffed crust thing out. Nice soft marshmallows. Got a tray here. I'm going to transfer it right to the tray. That way I don't have to try to lift it when it's stuffed. I sprayed it down with spray, cooking spray. Okay. So, these are huge. I think I'm going to just rip it up into pieces. And kind of just put it on the edge there. And then I think I'm just going to kind of fold a little bit of the dough over top. So, let's see. It doesn't have to be... I don't think I'm going to put it perfectly all around. We'll see. Make sure to get that pinch down. And I'm also going to use this opportunity to shape the dough better. Because right now it's not great shape, not an even shape. I'm not going to get a perfect circle, obviously, but you know, as close as I can get. I think I rolled this out way too thin, or stretched it out way too thin. I'm gonna need another marshmallow. Should have counted the amount of marshmallows. Did not think that plan through. I'm gonna have to make sure I do that for that pizza crust, so I can put that in the recipe. So just marshmallows. This is what I do. This is one of my issues in why writing recipes has been an interesting learning curve for me. Because when I cook, I do tend to not write things down. And that's not super helpful when you're trying to have other people be able to recreate it. Yeah, that crust is way too thin. Gonna burn. Anyway, other than the thin crust, the too thin crust, that's what we're looking like now. Gotta make sure I pinch down that the marshmallows are fully covered by dough, and that it's pinched nicely so it hopefully won't leak out. I think that's part of the goal. When you see cheese, it doesn't leak out until you cut into it. So that's kind of my goal here, is to kind of mimic that. There we go. Okay, so like I said earlier, this is mostly a test for the crust, so I don't have a lot of ingredients. I do have jam, so I think that's going to be the base. I don't know how it's going to cook. I don't know if the jam should go on now or if we need to bake the crust blind, i.e. Bake it before adding any toppings and then add the toppings after baking. But we'll find out. I want to try, see what baking it with the jam on will be like. Especially seeing as I made the crust too thin, so hopefully that'll also help it not burning. There's the jam. Now, let's see what toppings I do have that I can put on. This is gonna be really like rich. I'm putting peanut butter and chocolate and more chocolate. It's like a kid's version of a peanut butter sandwich. Banana. I have no banana. I wonder if apple would be good. I have apple. Nope. I'm gonna keep thinking and keep making something with this. I'll see you when it's done. Just before I pop it in the oven. Okay, so here it is. Yeah, obviously these are not going to be the toppings of the recipe, but you know what? This is a fun recipe, so if this looks good to you and these are the toppings you want, by all means, go right ahead. Got some jam, peanut butter, chocolate chips, brownie pieces, and apple, because you know, healthy. So we're gonna bake this and find out if this works. Okay, see you when it's done. There it is. Look at the crust. Oh! So it looks like over here I didn't quite pinch it down well enough and the marshmallow leaked out, but over here there might still be some marshmallow in there. So I'm gonna cut into it and find out, because yeah, here too you can kind of see, kind of screwed up the cover there, but yeah, definitely like on this, not so much there, but on this side it looks completely closed. So let's do this. Definitely made the crust a little too thin. It didn't burn, but definitely marshmallow leaked out. It's very, very sticky. But let's cut into this. So you can kind of see the marshmallow, how it's melted. I mean, it's pure sugar, so it's not going to have the same effect that the cheese does. So maybe I might stuff something else in there with the marshmallow. But you can kind of see what's melted, what's left. Kind of see how I made the crust way, way, way too thin. But sorry, video was full. So yeah, so I haven't tried it yet, but let's do this. I definitely like the jam on the pizza. 100%. For sure. For sure. Bake it with the jam on the pizza. That tastes really good. That is a very, very thin crust though. Definitely don't roll it out that thin next time. Because yeah, you can see how thin that is. But yeah, that stuffed crust is really good. Definitely gonna add something else to that. Maybe I might dye the marshmallows or something, although that, if you don't close it right, dyeing the marshmallows will really sink out. But yeah, that's definitely the right amount of sugar. The pizza crust is a nice taste to it. And definitely not the olive oil. You don't have that typical flavor of the olive oil that you normally have in pizza crust, so that's good because you don't want that with the sweet crust. But yeah, I think this is gonna work out well. Need to do a little bit more work on the forming of the pizza and the rolling out of it. But other than that, I think this idea is gonna work. So stay tuned for the finished, perfected, or at least made a whole lot better result of the dessert Sucky Price's dessert pizza. And a better name for that too, because that's not a great name. There you go. Enjoy. So I really should know better to not tweet and drink and tweet, or drink and anything, make any decisions, because, well, I don't do anything that I wouldn't do sober. I'm less anxious and less worried about what other people may think, I guess, is the answer when I'm drunk. You know, I don't do anything that's out of character, but I definitely say things that maybe I would normally keep to myself, or things like that when I'm drunk. I'm definitely, my confidence level, you know, and I think that's, you know, and that's part of the issue, you know, drinking kind of squashes that anxiety, which is both good and bad. You know, it's good that it squashes the anxiety. It's bad that drinking is a coping mechanism for squashing said anxiety, because, you know, you do sober up eventually. But yeah, sometimes it's good. I have done things when I'm drunk that it's like that when I'm sober up, it's like, yeah, I can't believe I did that, but that benefited me. Yay, drunk me. I've never done anything that completely harms me. I have done things where I'm like, oops. But luckily nothing that harms me. So, because again, I wouldn't do anything out of character. I just have a little more courage to do things. And I tend to, things come out of my mouth that would normally stay in my brain. Or apparently come out on Twitter. That would normally stay in my brain. Or come out in this video. That would normally stay in my brain. So, yeah. I don't know. I don't know why. Well, I don't know why I'm here. I don't know why I'm doing this. I will probably address it tomorrow morning. Maybe. Well, we'll see what we'll see what the response to my tweet is. And maybe I'll just ignore it and pretend none of this happened. We'll see what happens. But yeah, I guess it's, yeah, I don't know. But I think though the drinking is confidence that I would never do anything that I wouldn't normally do. It's pure, lowers the voice in my head that says, don't do that, you can't, you're not good enough to do that, no, you can't do that, no, why would you do that, why would they, like that type of thing, you know. It lowers that voice, which is a good thing, but I need to learn how to lower that voice sober as well, and try to ignore that voice sober. Get rid of that anxiety voice, or as I'm calling it now, Michael. Because anxiety is fear of the unknown, fear of what could happen, the worst case scenario. So my anxiety is now referred to as Michael. So yeah. Anyway, maybe I'll address that in my therapy session on Monday. Let's see. Who knows? I don't know what's gonna come up on Monday, because when I need therapy, I can't get it right away, and then by the time my appointment comes, it's like, yeah, I'm good now. It's one of those, I need therapy and I need it now, versus, you know, it's like by the time I get the appointment, it's like, yeah, I've worked through it, it's good, moved on from that situation. So yeah, that's yeah. Anyways, there we go. I'll see you tomorrow.